so today, the webinar is going to focus on the transfer admission planner, which hopefully most of you, if not all of you, already have a TAP profile created. And then we're going to go over the transfer admission guarantee as well. Advancing the slide. All right. So just to give you an overview. Oh, actually, I did forget housekeeping things. I almost forgot. So I think I mentioned it already earlier, but for those of you who just joined us, we did disable the chat function for you all. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to type them in to the Q&A function of Zoom that you'll see at the Zoom bar. And Jasmine and Jackie will start answering your questions. And then some of them we will save towards the end to answer live during this webinar. Sounds good? All right, we'll keep on going. And also in the chat, you know, so it's disabled for you to send any chat messages. However, we may occasionally include or type in some important websites or URL websites for you to have access to, depending on what information we're presenting in the PowerPoint this afternoon. Okay, so overview, we're gonna go over the tag requirements versus the general transfer admission requirements for UC. We're just briefly gonna brush on selective majors. We do have a separate webinar for selective majors. There is one next week. So you can just go back to the website where you registered for this webinar and sign up for that too if you haven't already. And we're also going to show you some different resources that are available to you online. And we'll also go over the UC TAP and why that's beneficial for you all as aspiring UC transfer students. And then we're also going to go over the timeline for the tag and the UC application as well. All right, so we'll continue on. Okay, so these are the transfer admission requirements. These are the same requirements no matter what UC you're interested in transferring to. You need to be at junior level standing, which means that you need to have at least 60 UC transferable semester units. And you need to have the 2 English composition courses, 1 transferable math course, and 4 courses from at least 2 different subject areas. And those areas can include the arts and humanities, the social and behavioral sciences, as well as the physical and biological sciences. So those courses are what we call the 7-course pattern. And then as far as the GPA requirement, the minimum GPA is the 2.4. However, for UC Davis specifically, the minimum GPA that we consider as competitive is at the very least a 2.8 overall GPA. So these minimum requirements must be met by the end of your last spring semester before you transfer. So many of you, your goal is to apply to transfer for fall of 2021. So all of these requirements have to be met by spring of 2021. For the tag, for the most part, it's pretty similar to the minimum requirements we just talked about. There's just very specific criteria, that we're looking for because it is a guarantee, so we are looking for very specific stuff on your academic profile. So that includes that you need to have at least 30 UC transferable semester units or 45 quarter units by the end of this summer. So if some of you are taking summer classes, you're still trying to complete the 30 units, yeah, that has to be completed by the end of this summer. And these have to be community college units, so you have to be a community college student, California community college student, to clarify that. And the minimum overall GPA that we're looking for is at least a 3.2 by the end of summer. Again, for students who are in the College of Engineering, who are applying in engineering majors and computer science, the overall GPA is a 3.4. And that, yeah, 3.4 overall GPA. And if you are in a selective major, we're also going to look for specific GPA for the required courses for your selective major. And additionally, we want students to complete by the end of fall 2020. So this upcoming fall semester, you need to also complete your 2 English composition courses, your 1 transferable math course, and they have to be completed with C's or better. By the end of spring 2021, you need to be able to show that you will complete all the admission and selective major requirements. So your 60 units, you know, maintain that 3.2 or 3.4 overall GPA, and also complete any specific courses that are required for your selective major. What is a selective major? Okay, so a selective major, so at UC Davis, we have over 100 majors, and they are divided into these 4 different colleges. So we have the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, the College of Biological Sciences, the College of Letters and Science, and then the College of Engineering. For most of our majors, when we review applications, we're simply looking for, you know, completion of the transfer admission requirements. But for selective majors, we are requiring specific coursework to be completed as part of the admissions requirement. And there's also specific GPA associated with those required courses. And these are our selective majors. For this coming fall, we have biotechnology, viticulture and enology, as well as managerial economics in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. In the College of Biological Sciences, it's all of our 9 majors that are considered selective. All of our majors in the College of Engineering are also considered selective majors. And in the College of Letters and Science, we have applied physics, computer science, mathematics, pharmaceutical chemistry, physics, psychology, and economics. Those are all selective majors. For those of you who are not applying this coming fall, but maybe intending to apply for fall of 2022, we're going to have additional selective majors, and those include applied mathematics, mathematical analytics and operations research, and mathematics and scientific computation. If you'd like to see a list of all of our 100+ majors, you can visit our website at ucdavis.edu/majors. And you'll see that on the chat in just a few minutes. Oh, there you go. All right, so now let's move on to some online resources that are available to all of you. The first one that I want to point out is assist.org. Hopefully all of you are familiar by now with assist.org. This is the repository of coursework from all of the 3 segments of higher education here in California, the UCs, the CSUs, and the California Community Colleges. This is also where you'll be able to find what courses are UC transferable, courses that will apply towards your the general education pattern at a UC campus or the IGETC, and also major specific requirements. So just a disclaimer, Assist is kind of stuck on the 16-17 academic year for our articulation by major for UC Davis. So in the meantime, we are using a makeshift Assist website called UC Davis Majors Guide. So Yeah, and you'll see the URL on the chat box. When you click on that, you'll see the latest articulation that we have available is for the 2018-2019 academic year. It's still not the most up to date, but it's still more, more recent than 16-17. And that's what we're utilizing right now. The next resource that is available to you all is the Transfer Admission Planner. So the tab is your online planner. This is, and just a reminder that this is not the UC application, although it will lead to your UC application later on. It's a really helpful tool because when you meet with your top advisor at your community college, it allows us to pre-evaluate your academic coursework. And if you have an educational plan available to you, or for some students, they call it an ISEP, you can even enter all of your planned courses up until spring of 2021, or even all the way out to spring of 2022 if you're a later applicant. And you just keep updating it every semester. You can go back in, log in, add your most current grades that you just received, and then update it for the following semester. It's really cool. And then it's also the home of the Transfer Admission Guarantee, or the TAG. Another resource that is available to you, and right now it's also an online resource because that's all that is available to all of us at the moment, is the Transfer Opportunity Program. So if you got an email from one of us, inviting you to schedule an appointment for an advising appointment, that's part of the Transfer Opportunity Program. And then these workshops also that we host every Thursday, our Top Thursday webinars, are also sponsored by Top. And let us move on. Okay, so let's talk about the TAP, the Transfer Admission Planner. Do they have access to the raise your hand? They don't have access to that, huh? Oh, you can. Okay, raise your hand if you have a TAP. Okay, I want to see all 30 of you have a TAP, or at least 90%. Okay, cool. We almost got there. We were close. Okay, the highest I saw was like 21, 22. All right, I'm glad to see that. So if you don't have a UC TAP, please create one. I highly, highly encourage you to create your UC TAP right now and start filling it out. So it's not just for UC Davis, actually. It's a UC system-wide advising tool. So all of us use it. We use it in a lot of different ways. We heavily utilize it, as part of TOP. So this is what it looks like. Some of you are already familiar with it. And just to give you a kind of a heads up, UC TAP is about to go what do you call this? It's going through a facelift. So the interface will look a little bit different, maybe later this summer or early fall. So don't be surprised, when you go back into the website and it looks different. That is intentional. We are trying to update the look of the UC TAP website. Just a heads up. But that's the front page where you log in. That's also where you go to start or create a new TAP profile. And then once you are logged in, you can see all these different sections. Inside the tab, you have the My Information section. And then it's a messaging tool as well. excuse me, there's a My Coursework section. So that's where you'll input all of the college level courses that you have completed and everything that you have in progress and planned. My Exams, that's the section where you can report any AP exams or IB exams that you may have taken in high school. And then the review would just be a review of everything that you've inputted so far. And like I said earlier, the tab is the home of the tag. So there's the apply for tag section, and you don't really have to worry about that right this moment, but we'll show you in the timeline when that's going to be important to go through. And then there's also a tab for the UC application system. So the nice thing about having a UC tab too is it will show you your tag status. So if you have a tag in that right hand gray box up there, it will show you if your tag has been submitted or not, or if it's still in progress. And then it will also show you what the current application filing periods are, and when they're open. Just to make sure that you're not missing any important deadlines. All right, so now we are in the My Information section, and this is the academic history section of My Information. So you do have to input the high school or high schools that you have attended. You also have to list the dates of attendance of when you were in high school and when you received a diploma or a GED or a certificate. And then you need to list all of the colleges and universities that you have attended. So if you've attended multiple community colleges, or maybe sometimes you've attended a CSU, like the student that we have in the example, attended CSU Monterey Bay, you also have to report that in your UC tab. So, you don't want to not disclose anything. You have to report every single thing, every single college and university that you've ever enrolled in. And then there's also at the very bottom of that screen, you'll see that text box. That's a place for you to report if you have any gaps in your educational history. So maybe after high school, you took a break, you took 1 year off to just work full time, that's not a problem, but you do need to explain that. So we give you that space to provide us with that brief explanation. Okay, so now moving along to the My Coursework section of your UC tab. So this is where you can start entering your classes. Don't go by memory, download your transcripts from your e-services or, your web advisor, whatever program your community college uses, and start inputting every single course from every single transcript that you have. Okay, don't leave anything out. Even if you have W's, if you have pass, no pass, academic renewals, incompletes, enter everything that is on your transcript. It should mirror exactly what's on your transcript. So what you would do is step one, you would, the easiest thing to do is do it by chronological order, right? Just follow your transcript. You enter the term, so whether it's fall, spring, summer, winter, and then the year that you took it. And then step two, based on the colleges or universities that you entered in your My Information section, that's what's going to show up in this drop-down menu in step two. So you would select that college. And then in step three, you can type in a few letters of your course or the course title. And if it's a California Community College course, and if it's UC transferable, those are the easiest ones to input, because as soon as you enter a few letters, courses that are UC transferable according to Assist will appear below. So all you really have to do is just click on that course, And then that course is already pre-populated for you with the subject, course number, course title, number of units. So all you really have to provide is the grade. So from the drop-down menu, you can select the grade, or if it's a class that you have in progress, then you would click in progress. And then if it's a class that is planned, you would click on that planned radio button right there. Okay, so what if a course is not transferable? I had to take intermediate algebra before I could take stats. You know, it's on my transcript, so Ms. Blanco said I need to input that. How do I do that? When I enter, you know, a few letters in step 3, nothing shows up for intermediate algebra. So what you would do is click on, at the very bottom, you'll see it says there, my course is not listed here, add it. Click on that. A blank add a course box will appear, and you just manually type everything in. And it's going to be the same thing with courses that you've taken from a CSU or another UC or any out-of-state or international transcript that you have to input. My exam section. So this is, like I said, where you would input your AP exams or IB exams or both. Some of you have both. And then all you really need to do is input the month and the year when you took the AP exam, your score. What's really cool about it is that it gives you a preliminary number of, you know, your transfer credits based on that AP exam. All right. And then, let's see. Just want to check the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so we can start with the transfer admission guarantee. So with the transfer admission guarantee, there are six campuses within the UC system that participate in the transfer admission guarantee. So that's all of these right here: Santa Barbara, Merced, Davis, Santa Cruz, Irvine, and Riverside. That tag application, you'll be able to find that in your TAP profile. It's the apply for tag section of your TAP profile. You can only apply to one campus for a tag. You know, you can't apply to you cannot apply to multiple campuses. You can only apply to one. It won't allow you anyway. You know, it's already programmed that way. The filing period is during the month of September. So it's always that September, 1 year before you actually plan to transfer to that UC. So this coming fall, this coming September is going to be the tag application season for fall of 2021. Okay, so many of you are, you know, gearing for that at this time. So mark your calendars. September is the tag application season through your TAP. Excuse me. And even if you have a transfer admission guarantee, if it's approved, or, you know, if you submit one for some of the other UC campuses, you still have to submit the UC application during the month of November. Very, very important, you know. You don't want to have a tag and then forget to submit an application. That's not gonna be a happy ending for you. All right, so just to make sure that you're on track with things, you know, next fall is going to be busy for you if you're applying for fall 2021. So make sure to, you know, just mark your calendars right now so you're not missing any important deadlines. So starting in August is when you can start filling out your UC application. The UC application will open up. You know, it is a very comprehensive, very lengthy application. So we give you 4 months to thoroughly fill it out and thoughtfully write your personal insight question responses and your extracurricular information. So take advantage of all that time that is available to you. In September, like I said earlier, is when you'll submit your tag application. If you apply to Davis or Merced for a tag, we're the only 2 out of the 6 that will notify you in advance. So that will be around mid-November that you'll find out whether your tag is approved or not. The really cool thing about the tag with UC Davis is it's like a contract. There's no gray area. It will tell you exactly how many units you still need to fulfill. It will tell you exactly what GPA you need to maintain. It will tell you what classes you're still missing that we want you to fulfill this coming fall, and spring semester. And a lot of time, well, I think all the time, with very specific grades as well. In November, also is, like I said earlier, is when you submit your UC application. And then in January, January is also a critical time for transfer UC applicants because you need to submit your transfer academic update. That's the priority deadline for that TAU. That's a time where you pretty much, you go back into your UC application and we want you to report an update of your fall semester grades and any changes that you might have to your spring semester or spring, winter or spring coursework. So make sure to submit that by January 31st. That's also, if you applied, to UC Davis, that's also when we'll send you a confirmation email saying that, thank you for submitting your application to UC Davis. And then we will ask you to create a profile for the My Admissions or an account, a My Admissions account. So that's our admissions portal for UC Davis. All the other UCs that you'll apply to will also ask you to create an admissions portal on their websites. So just keep that in mind. Keep all your login information written down somewhere safe. And then October through March is when you can submit your FAFSA or your California Dream Act application for financial aid. Again, I want you to focus on when it opens rather than when the deadline is. So it opens as early as October 1st. That's when you can start submitting your FAFSA and your California Dream Act application. Don't wait till the last minute. Just start it early, get it done early, get it out of the way. Late April. So around mid-late April is when UC Davis usually notifies students of the official transfer admission notification. So keep that in check as well. And then many of you, because you're just brilliant students, you may be admitted to multiple UC campuses, and then you'll have until June 1st to submit that SIR, the Statement of Intent to Register. And then, last but not least, here's our contact information. So like I said earlier, we have our top website. So in our top website is where you'll find how you can get in touch with your representative, your UC representative at your specific community college. You can also email our SOAs, that's our student outreach ambassadors, at top-soa@ucdavis.edu. If you have any student life questions, feel free to contact them, and we're also on social media.